Mr. Mayor, we live.
All right, thank you for that, Mark. Today is February 21st, 2024, and the time is 5:07 p.m., and I am calling to order the Baldwin Park City Council special meeting. City Clerk, can I have a roll call, please?
Mayor Estrada,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Ayala,
Here.
Councilmember Avila.
Here.
Councilmember Garcia. Councilmember Damian.
Here.
Mr. City Clerk, Councilmember Garcia is running late. She should be here around 5:30 to 5:40.
Thank you.
Thank you for that, City Clerk. So at this moment, we'll open up public communications. City Clerk, is there anybody looking to speak?
No, Mayor, at this time we have not received requests for our comment.
Great. So at this moment, if anybody's looking to speak and didn't fill out a speaker card, now is your time. And seeing that nobody is looking to speak, I will go ahead and close public communications. Then we are going to continue with our open session and study session. And we have a presentation by city staff. Manny Carrillo, our Director of Recreation and Community Services, Helen Hernandez, Community Service Supervisor, regarding the new city website. So I'm going to go ahead and give you the floor.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll go ahead and give a brief introduction, then I will turn it over to staff. Honorable Mayor, members of the City Council, as you may recall, at the direction of the City Council, we were directed to create a new innovative and user-friendly website, thus building out our already transparent way of government. December 2022, the city received 30 proposals from various vendors for website hosting, web design, redesign, maintenance, services, and support. The purpose of tonight's presentation is to share the improvements to the upcoming new website. Helen Hernandez, Community Services Supervisor, will provide a thorough and brief presentation along with John Creel, Computer Specialist, and Jessica Gamboa Vasquez, Recreation Leader. I am proud of all departments contributing to the progress thus far, and I'm especially proud of the incorporation of part-time staff in the day-to-day work associated with the website startup, with the startup and presentation. At this point, I will turn it over to Helen. Helen, take it away.
Helen, please turn the mic on.
Thank you, Manny. Mayor, City Council, we're super excited to be here today. Very, very proud of all the hard work. So we're going to go kick it off with some kudos. First of all, I would like to say a big, huge thank you to Mark Sue and David Mortensen from our IT department. Before we started this, I really didn't know what a URL was, a DNS, security certificates, all this fancy terminology to say that we needed help with our website. So I'm very excited that they're able to guide us along this process with all the technical side, and then we got to make it look pretty. So big thank you to the IT department. Several departments were part of our website committee. We had participation from our community development team, and Mel's actually here. She participated in the grading of several proposals and interviews, and she was actually one of the persons who asked the most questions about different things. So she did a great job. We had help from finance, Anthony Ceballos, who has filled in on a few times for us. Definitely public works support. Romani was key in asking crucial questions, which guided us to make sure we had a thorough process when we had to reissue our RFP. We definitely had some great help from HR and things that they felt were working well and not well, and what we need to improve upon. And definitely our police department, who has been actively using the existing provider that we just got. So they told us some good things to look out for. And then most importantly, my social media team, who helped contribute extremely to the beautification of the actual project. So we're going to dive into the website. So when it comes to how we selected our colors, our branding, we actually were approached by the design team from Civic Plus. Our project manager was Holly Brown, who was extremely helpful and very knowledgeable. She has been with Civic Plus for over 20 years and came with a wealth of knowledge of what works well, what doesn't work well, what departments we need to make sure we give a little more room to, add space for articles and information. But in terms of our color and branding, she gave us different choices. So the committee as a group decided on which way to go, whether blue was going to be our dominant color, white was going to be our dominant color, things of that nature. We chose to have it complement our city seal. Our city seal in color is made up of navy and gold. So you'll see accents of navy, gold, and white throughout the website. It's very bright and vibrant. And it's a lot more looser and fluid, so people can clearly recognize and see items they're looking for. When it comes to our images, these two next to me, actually, the three of us, we figured out how to use a drone, how to utilize the video features on our cameras, and how to take better pictures than what we were capturing before. So all the images you'll see throughout the website coming up were images taken by in-house staff. We did not pay a photographer for this particular project. We would like to get one later, but this, for right now, all this stuff was done in-house with part-time staff. So that was pretty amazing. They did a great job. Next up, we're going to show you some of the bells and whistles. We have some cool things on our website. The first being something that you might be familiar with, and is our Baldwin Park Connect. We currently utilize a system that is provided by GoGov. It's an app that people already have on their phone. It's the blue one that has our city seal on it. And Baldwin Park Connect easily integrates with this website. So we were able to embed the actual app within our website. So you'll see it right there. And let's say we want to go ahead and report a big pothole from the rain this weekend out here in front of City Hall. Once we log into to Baldwin Park Connect, and we log in that we're going to report that issue, we can actually, if we're standing there and we just ran it over, report it, and where we report it from is showing our GPS instantly of where we're at. So when this report gets issued to Public Works and it goes to the team that's going to repair that, they'll have a GPS coordinate of where that issue is taking place. And if I'm standing there with my phone reporting this, I can snap a quick picture, drop the picture in, and send it on over to those who will take care of it. So it's all integrated. So it's one login, one way to use it. You just get to drop it in and send it on over to the next person. Next up, we have another really cool feature, our city calendar, and Jessica will share a little bit about our city calendar.
Thank you, Helen. So regarding features, we also have a city calendar that focuses entirely on the meetings and events. It consists of a master calendar where we display city events that need the most outreach and the most promotion. So let me go to that real quick. It is located on our homepage. But again, we have the opportunity to create sub-calendars that cater to different groups and different departments. So for example, if we wanted to create a senior center calendar dedicated to only senior center events, we could do that and so on. So we include information for the events that can also attach things such as forms and flyers. And then we also have an element that's dedicated to just news articles, which we will continue to update as time goes. So both of these features are living, breathing features that can be updated daily. And as Helen said, it'll grow into a wise oak tree. And now I will pass it on to John Carrillo, our computer specialist.
Hello. So in order to access some of these calendar features, we also have a feature called Notify Me that is enables web users to subscribe to their emails or text messages notifications from specific pages. Users can receive updates from various categories such as news flash, calendar events, job postings, postings, alert centers, agenda centers. The way to access these features will be located on the left-hand side of our web page under subscribe. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to sign in to your account. Once you've signed in, you're going to want to add in your email and your phone number onto the account. And then from there, you get to select whether or not you want to receive emails or a text message of either, say, for example, under calendars, like we were talking about, you can subscribe to the main calendar either through email or through text message. You can use this feature on both the desktop and on the web browser on your phone. And that covers the Notify Me section. We're going to move on to the new departments pages that we have.
So each of our departments has a new and updated page. The pages have features such as images, public information, and access to staff contact information. So the great thing about the system is that each department has the ability to update information as needed. Everyone has access to their own pages. So they have full editorial access and can adjust what they'd like daily. I'll pass it back on to Helen.
And what's to come. So coming up, we're ready to launch with the direction of City Council. If you feel like there's things that look great to you and impressive to you, we feel we did a tremendous amount of work in here and we put a lot of effort into this. So we are ready to launch. When we're ready to launch, we are gonna invite everyone to continue to use our Baldwin Park Connect app. We're gonna remind them to connect to baldwinpark.com. We're going to utilize our social media accounts, our SUFA signs. We'll access the database from the Baldwin Park Business Association. We'll make sure to get out there on our marquees. Anytime we provide a billboard in our city, we definitely include our website. We put baldwinpark.com. It is a staple in all of our advertising and branding items. And then, of course, we're going to do our best to get some lawn signs out there on the medians, make sure people know they need to reconnect with baldwinpark.com. Some phases that are to come, as we mentioned briefly, the Baldwin Park Police Department will have their refresh next month. In mid-March, we will start that project with them. I'll be guiding them along the process now that this portion is complete. To come in March as well, we'll be refreshing our web track portion of the rec track registration for the community center. So if you wanted to register your child for ballet folklorico, taekwondo, you can easily do that through your account here on baldwinpark.com. Also, we want to make sure this summer, everything that we provide with our giveaways at our street markets for the July event, we will be branding that as well with our baldwinpark.com. And that's what we're doing this next couple of months. So hope you're ready to reconnect. Any questions?
Very nice. Well, I think it's, we're all very excited. I know it's been a while, so we're very excited to see the website launch. And it's very refreshing to see that we'll have a modernized website compared to, the current one that we have. No shade to anybody, but I'm very excited for it. And I think it says a lot for our constituents because now it's easier for them to have access to services and resources and gets their question answered and report issues. So we're very, we have an opportunity to get people involved in their community and it really helps with civic pride and civic participation. The only thing I would ask is that we include public transit information. If I'm not mistaken, I think Public Works is working with public transit and now they have that system where they can track down the buses. So you want to make sure, as we keep an eye on public transit that we
I
incorporate
believe
that. into the
Ramani is going to
website.
be able to embed that item, particularly on our Public Works page. So you can actually see if the bus is on time, where it's at. There is software for that. It just has to be transferred into our program. And once we get more main control of the site, then we'll be able to access. One feature we didn't mention is when we go live, if we go live tomorrow, the chatbot feature, which is a living element on the web page. So say you type in the word trash, and you want information about our trash vendor for the city. The chatbot will recognize that word. But let's say someone says rubbish or waste management, it'll recognize all those words are related to the waste management vendor and it'll learn itself and keep growing. Anytime someone may type in basura or waste or garbage, it'll recognize all those keywords and provide that information to that vendor. So that chatbot will be living and breathing as well as the website.
Chatbot is multilingual? Is that what
The
you're talking?
chatbot is multilingual as well. He will speak Mandarin. He will speak 101 languages actually.
Very nice. Cool. And then just to make sure you did test it on a mobile version. It is.
We did
mobile
test it
friendly?
on mobile version. The only thing that happens is it gets a little skinny and your pictures stack on top of each other. So when you come to the city council page, you get to see everyone's bright, shiny face.
Mine's first, right?
I believe so.
Just kidding. Any questions from council or staff?
Just some comments. I want to thank you guys for working on this, and it's awesome to hear that you learned so much about technology. I'm not very technology savvy besides, doing stuff from work, but this is awesome. I always see all of you guys out there working, taking pictures. I did see you guys playing around with the drone, so I see exactly what you were doing now. So it looks awesome. Those pictures look amazing. So thank you. One question I do have, when they put in, for example, that there's a pothole and it gives an address, the department, for example, Public Works, how soon will they be checking that or how often is that? Do they get a notification? How does that work?
It actually goes directly to their email as well as their phone. I know Anthony says he gets them like a dozen times a day.
That's
So
awesome.
if it's something to do with Public Works specifically, but that doesn't work just for Public Works. It works for graffiti, code enforcement violations, signs, yard sale. I mean, people can report a multitude of items on there. Everything listed on that app, they can actually report, and it could be anonymous or they can submit their email. And then if they'd like a response, they can request a response back from that.
And the departments will be getting that email and, oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. I'm excited about it. Thank you.
Well, first I'd like to say thank you for the presentation and
I'm really excited to hear that part-time staff actually contributed their time and efforts into helping you develop this versus us going out to a consultant to pay them for pictures and et cetera. So I'm really happy to hear that. So you did mention that every department has the ability to go in there and edit and add or delete whatever information they want to put into their particular division or department, correct?
Yes, and they all have editorial rights, and I know Mal has been working diligent on her page because she's been calling David and David's called me, so we've all been working together to make sure we have the best tips and tricks to add things. The pages don't only just grow like monthly, the pages can literally grow by the hour. So what the page looks like right now, it might not look like that in 30 minutes if we're in there changing and updating, so it can grow daily.
Got it. Okay. And then you did mention we're gonna have a huge campaign to get this out to the community, to the residents, encourage them to sign up for notifications or, okay, perfect. You mentioned chatbot. Does that have anything to do with AI?
It's actually, it accepts voice, I believe. You can talk into it and say like, kind of like a Hey Siri, but it's a Hey chatbot.
Okay.
You can type in there and then it is ADA compliant. So all of our page, actually, one of the features that's offered within our package is they will go in and make sure that all of our pages are up to date where like, if, for example, it'll say gentleman Emmanuel Estrada standing with flag and background. It'll describe the photo to a person that might be blind or vision impaired. So the AI makes sure we're ADA compliant, as well as if you just wanted to like describe this page of baldwinpark.com features all of the members of the city council. So it could talk to them or it could like type them back an answer.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. You guys did an amazing job. I'm really excited to see this page go live. And obviously we can just build upon it, right? We can always edit,
Definitely.
add and all that. So great. Thank you so much. I appreciate your guys' hard work.
I have some comments. I just want to say thank you to everybody involved in producing this. As we said, long time in coming, and I'm looking forward to utilizing it and to, to get the word out. I appreciate that chat, what you were talking about being multilingual. I want to know, is the page accessible in other language as well?
Yes, it is. Right now it'll be a Google Translate box, but we did find out there's a way to improve upon that where we can specifically list the language on the top instead of having just the Google box where you type your language. We can have a permanent pinpoint on there
Okay.
that will say Spanish, Mandarin, Tagalog, any language we need to pin, which the most popular in our community would be Mandarin Chinese and Spanish.
Exactly. Okay,
Mhm.
great, great. Thank you so much for
Welcome.
all your work.
Helen, on the main page of the website, with so much being communicated through social media, are you including any sort of like, I guess it's sort of like a read-only social media that like the top 5 hits that have come in either on any other platform, whether it's Instagram or
Right now, our news feature will feature our top events coming up interactively, but on the left-hand side in one of our quick link buttons under subscribe, the one that we have, which is our most popular, most active with in terms of DMs and replies to our Instagram. So we did put a button specifically for Instagram because Instagram is the more popular used of our users based on our analytics. It's Instagram. So we do always keep our Facebook and Twitter or X with the same communications, but the one that gets the most analytics for us is our Instagram. So we have included a button for that. We will add to the bottom a button with all of the social media handles that we have for all of the platforms. But for right now, the first one we did was the Instagram. And again, it's a living, breathing document, which is going to grow wiser as it grows. And every day we're adding to it. Every day we're playing and exploring. We literally have, it doesn't look the same way it looked 5 days ago. We've done a lot of stuff since Saturday. So definitely excited to play with it and learn new things. So and actually the State of the City, we just added that maybe like 15 minutes before we presented. So that was kind of cool to be able to add something that quickly that we had access to the flyer. So it's pretty exciting. Any other questions? And if there is any direction other than saying no, we would like to launch this weekend. So it will be a soft launch because obviously we won't be putting anything out there. We'll make an advertisement for our social media platforms and such, but we would like to launch as soon as possible with your direction.
I just want to add, it's a great idea that you add the calendars for the different departments. So if somebody remembers the police is having something or Parks and Recs, they go directly to that and not having to look through Whole calendar, that's a great idea.
So the important ones right now are all of our city council meetings are listed on our calendar.
Mhm.
So those are there for the next 100 instances. And then as events grow, events will be added as flyers become available. We do have our boot camp. It does close this week coming up for registration, but definitely everything that we have, we're only as strong as the content we receive.
Correct.
The more items that people provide, the more content we'll have on there.
Right.
So we're definitely as strong as we do the content updating ourselves. And every department has access to upload and edit daily, hourly, whichever they're comfortable with. And we're happy to help and keep on training anyone else who wants to assist their departments. So it's not just falls on one person, that everybody gets to contribute to this.
Great, thank you.
And I just have one more question for you. Would all the city council meetings, because you mentioned the city council meetings, would you have the link there for the YouTube as well as say, for example, the SOC, the planning commission? So any meetings that are coming up, would it be easily accessible for residents to go in there and just click on the link and it'll take them to the YouTube channel to be able to view the meetings?
We can actually put that on our homepage so people don't have to go even looking into the council section. It could be on the bottom, our YouTube channel, which our YouTube channel actually only highlights our council meetings. And we have one for English and one for Spanish. So we can put
Perfect.
YouTube in Espanol and YouTube in English. And those will both be available on the homepage. That's probably the easiest and most efficient way for people to find it. The agenda links will always be in each single council meeting as well. And then if there's any modifications or changes to the meeting, time-wise, or if there's a meeting that gets canceled or delayed, those can all be posted easily. And our city clerk is very familiar with the software, and she's been a gem in helping update a lot of items as well.
Perfect. Okay.
So I have a question. So so for certain websites, like that landing page, so the home landing page, so right now it's that's just Snyder Community Center. Is that something you can schedule by the hour? So like I know that like some cities you'll go on their website and it's 7 o'clock. So the image that you see is click here to listen in on a city council meeting, right? And so like I don't know if that's something that can be scheduled or something that we would have to plug in every Wednesday. But the moment somebody lands on our website, they would know that a city council meeting or a SOC meeting or something is happening, that if you click the image, it would take you automatically to either Granicus or to the YouTube and just like embed the link directly. It'd be like a straight reminder, like somebody be on our website randomly for whatever reason, and then they would see that a meeting is happening. And the other thing is like if
So I can show you something really quick. One thing that's really impressive also, there's so many things to show you, but we have what's called the announcement. So the police department has it on there right now for earthquake, because we just had the earthquake last week.
Yeah.
So we can actually be announcement on Wednesdays.
Right.
Light it up to say
Yeah.
city council meeting tonight. And then right there, once they click on that, it'll click into the section for the YouTube as well, the Granicus link to the
Perfect.
agenda. So we can do that every Wednesday. I'm pretty sure it could be scheduled. If not, we can also manually put it on our calendars to manually change
Yeah.
that.
and then
Or the city clerks could do it too.
Yeah. and the
We're all
other
able to
is,
do it ourselves.
is making sure that somewhere on that rotating
Absolutely. That's a great idea. We didn't even think about that, but definitely.
like the rotating band, especially if we are launching this weekend, if we can just highlight that there's an election coming in less than 2 weeks or so.
Yes,
like
and we
run-
did post,
run- yeah.
register to vote was last day was yesterday. We posted it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Very good.
Tons of stuff. And if you ever have any requests, you all have my email address. Feel free to send us information, content, things you think that'll be great, additions, and we'll be more than happy to link it or get it up on our website.
Nice. Well, we're very excited for the launch, so we'll keep an eye out.
All right, keep right out.
Alrighty.
What time tomorrow do you want it up?
Yeah. Direction? Yeah.
Are we say noon tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay, so I will coordinate with Mark and David because they're listening as well. The train always gets me. So tomorrow.
Are you hosting a lunch party?
We hadn't thought about that, but we will, I will coordinate with Mark and David and we'll see what we can make happen. I'm
Okay.
sure we can come up with something. Thank you so much. Back to the YouTube.
All right. Thank you to staff for that presentation and your hard work. Next, we have a presentation by Habitat for Humanity, project updates on 4428 Stewart Avenue and 12799 Torch Street. Presented by Brian Wong, Executive Director, and Grant Power, Director of Real Estate Development.
Thank you, Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, as you mentioned, Habitat for Humanity has a presentation for you tonight. As you're aware, Habitat for Humanity has received funds from the city to develop affordable housing in the city. They've been working diligently with staff on that venture, and specifically the two projects on Torch and Stewart that we're going to talk about this evening. There's been a pause in their process, and they're looking at a design, going in a new direction for design. So I will pass it over to Grant and Brian, and they can explain a bit more. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, staff. It's a great pleasure to see you again. My name is Grant Power, Director of Real Estate Development for San Gabriel Valley Habitat for Humanity, and I'm joined this evening by Brian Wong, our CEO. We'd like to invite you to discuss with us the two sites that were identified by Nick Baldwin in the city limits. We have new site plans and designs vetted by city staff for each of these projects, which we would like to share with you now. While we have been through a process during the pre-development period of these projects are now set to move full speed ahead. So we're excited to have this chance to share them with you and look forward to hearing your questions. Next slide, please. I'm wanting to draw your attention quickly to a project that we have already built, this one in the city of Pasadena, called the Desiderio Project. This 9-unit project, finished in 2018, is 100% affordable for sale for low-income families. It's 100% occupied. It was designed to fit in with the neighboring homes. I'm presenting this to you because that project, along with many others that we've finished over the last 35 years in San Gabriel Valley, gives us great confidence that we can deliver quality, affordable, for-sale housing of similar scale in this city. And Stewart and Torch are flagships, which we are excited and proud to be able to talk to you about. Let's move forward. One more. To that end, I'd like to invite our project architect, David Goodale of Goodale Architects, to join us at the podium and present first the project at 4428 Stewart Avenue.
Thank you, Grant. Good evening, Mayor Estrada, council members. Bit of orientation on Stewart Avenue. So what we are looking at here, north is on the left of the screen, the mountains to the left, Stewart Avenue to the lower portion of the screen, and Los Angeles Avenue, Los Angeles Street on the right-hand side. The existing church building is on the left of the screen, that U-shaped configuration. The classroom building for the church is at the top. And we're proposing to introduce 4 new 2-story townhomes facing Los Angeles Street, so that basically a courtyard is formed around the parking area. And each of the units will have private courtyards, part of the requirement of zoning. And what is now was the church's common circular area up at the left, a very kind of charming brick circle area, will become the new core and common space for the housing complex. We did not expect at the beginning that a church would well accommodate the layout of units, but it actually worked out so that the units are quite charming and conventional in the way that they lay out in the church building. One of the root styles in the region, the Southern California region, is the craftsman style. And we have elected to employ that here. It is especially appropriate because it's a fairly low slung style. The roofing is a very low slope roof. And it will contribute, I think, contextually to the scale of both the church and the neighborhood. One of the characteristics of the Habitat for Humanity unit is that every ground floor unit needs to have both an accessible bedroom and an accessible bathroom and kitchen, so that any unit that someone comes to inhabit will be accessible in the new townhomes. There are also two accessible units in the church area, the renovated church. And this a conceptual rendering from the corner of Stewart and Los Angeles. The church in the background, you can see the parking set back behind a low wall and planting, and the 4 new townhomes are on the right. The palette is very much in the craftsman style, a very deep saturated earth tone for the building body, and accents in white window surrounds for the openings.
I'd like to push pause for just a moment and ask if you would like to present any questions or comments in relation to what you've just seen regarding the Stewart Avenue project. Just as a reminder, there are 15 units, of which 11 are adaptive reuse units using the existing church campus buildings, in addition to 4 attached new construction units facing Los Angeles Street.
Well, I think we'll save the questions and the comments.
Want to save them?
Yeah.
Okay, then we'll go on. Screen in front of you right now is titled SB4, short for State Bill. This is a law that provides projects located on the grounds of existing churches be utilized on an expedited for affordable housing development on an expedited basis. That law allows us, in this case, allows developers like Habitat to build on church-owned property without going through CEQA, zone change, or general plan amendment. SB4 has been found to apply in the case of the Stewart site. What I mean by that is that Stewart meets the conditions of the bill and allows us, therefore, to save a great deal of time and expense as we prepare to construct. It allows us to deliver the units more quickly and pass on the savings of the shortened time to our new low-income home buyers, while ensuring that the project fits well and indeed elevates the quality of the neighborhood. Okay, next slide. I'd like to now move to our second project. And again, I'd like to invite David to walk us through the site plan and the conceptual design.
Again, north here is on the right, Torch Street on the left, Marlinda Avenue at the bottom of the slide. I might point out that the previous design for Torch Street had 15 units. There are now 14 units, and part of the rationale for that is to develop more parking, more landscape, more public space within the site. We have tried to, this is a very compact site, and we have tried to solve it by developing a central parking area that is also a kind of social lane. It's well landscaped. You can walk along that lane, and it's basically a place where people will have a lot of relationships across the lane with each other because their main entries will face that side. At the same time, the courtyards for each unit will face the outer portions, Marlinda Avenue and the north property line. And they are also constructed so that both the front of the unit and the quote rear of the unit will appear very much as entries. So that Marlinda Avenue will have very kind of classical courtyard, entry porch, and front door, even though it's a door to the kitchen in this case. And their setbacks are quite generous in the front and the back. The social space is larger than required. And there's also a landscape setback that includes courtyards and some greenery to Marlinda Avenue. Again, we have employed a craftsman style to the architecture. The top elevation is basically what you would see from Marlinda. And the middle one, the courtyards are viewed again on the Marlinda side. I'm sorry, Torch Street is on the top. This is the second set of elevations, and these are actually, here is the top view from Torch Street on and the middle one and the bottom one are both facing into the lane between the two main wings of the project. Again, a very low slung project. It's 2 stories, but again, we feel that within the context of this neighborhood, it will be a very homey fit. The last image of you from Torch Street, Marlinda, would be just on the right, and we're basically looking into the lane that separates the 2 housing wings. And that's a conclusion of the Torch portion.
So we want to emphasize that this project is proposed to have 14 units. So if you take 14 units at Torch and 15 more units at Stewart, we've got 29 units on the table. These are going to be 100% affordable for sale to low-income families. We are engaging the city at each step as we go through the pre-construction period of this project. And our aim is to make sure these projects are a truly value-adding asset to the communities where they are going to be located, in addition to providing game-changing opportunities for affordable home ownership in Baldwin Park for low-income families. Brian.
Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing? Doing well, thank you. Thank you again for having us come out. I think it's really important for you and for the community to see how we're progressing on these 2 really important projects. And the reason we're coming back with different floor plans and different designs of this is, as I'm sure you guys are well aware, the state has come across in the last year with, I think it's about 54 new housing laws that impact cities and counties in a variety of ways, all of which have been designed to speed up the process of affordable housing. Now, we've always viewed ourselves as partners with the city, which means that although the state may have come down and said, you will do this as a city, we believe that's kind of like a minimum threshold. And even though the city is mandated to do certain things, we're working on an ongoing basis with staff to figure out not only what meets the state laws, but what meets the needs of the community. So as we mentioned, one of those sites, we thought it was in the best interest of the community to take out 1 unit to create additional parking, some additional green space. It's really important for council to understand that your staff is fantastic in trying to relay what the important elements for the city are, so we can continuously adjust our buildings accordingly. Now, the great thing is through all of these changes that we've made over the last year or two, the end result is not only has the SB4 sped up the timeline and reduced costs dramatically, and we're still working hand in glove with your staff on making sure that we're not overriding things that are important to you. But at the same time, you have to remember, those are brand new units in which the mortgages for those homeowners are going to be around $200,000. So even though the market value of these properties are probably going to be in excess of 500, maybe in some cases close to $600,000, we've been able to bring, excuse me, the cost of these down to your homeowners, the residents of Baldwin Park for the most part, down to about $200,000 for our lowest end, and somewhere in the mid twos to maybe low threes on our 4-bedroom units. So these are incredible values to the residents of Baldwin Park. So hopefully I can answer any questions you have on why or what things are looking like or the direction we're going in. But hopefully after tonight, we'll get things rolling again with staff. And before the end of summer, we'll be in construction. Could I help with any questions?
Definitely looking forward to construction. You know, we're very, very excited. It's really nice to see what property can become, whether it was a vacant couple of parcels right next to each other on Torch Street or on Stewart, you know, a church that decided that their land could still serve the community, even if their parish couldn't. And so, you know, I visited Desiderio, and I think Desiderio is a really big, is really, really nice, and it's very, very inspirational. I think it's no secret that I've always been proud of our partnership with Habitat. And it's nice. It's nice to see that we can build quality homes that are going to give opportunities to people that live here, not displace them, and provide them that longevity. And not only them, but also the generations to come, provide generational wealth, give them opportunities. And so it's very, very important, especially now, not just for us, but you're seeing it across the region, right? Every single city from the East Coast all the way to the Inland Empire, there's a domino effect where people are not able to afford and they move on, and then those people displace the next and so forth. And, you know, everybody's hurting, especially our children, their education, their stability. And we're seeing that at the school district as well. So very, very important and very, very big efforts that come with this work. So very excited to see this come to fruition. I'll go ahead and open the floor to our council and staff.
If I may, Mayor. Well, first of all, thank you for the presentation. I like the craftsman style. I love that type of home personally. And the fact that you went from 50 units to 14, I think in the past, when we were having conversations, we did mention about lowering it 1 or 2 units, but it was about the budget and what was going to work best. So going down to 14, I think it's perfect because it will give us more open space, more parking for our residents, because that was one of the issues I recall we discussed. The fact that it's going to cost less, it's even more exciting. But what's more exciting is that we will be able to give the opportunity to Baldwin Park residents to purchase a home that maybe they thought they could never purchase because they may have the best credit, but they don't make enough money. And we're going to give them that opportunity that, you know, they're good citizens. They make decent money, not a lot of money. They have great credit. They can also live in a home that they're happy, that they like, that they choose, which in other cases, otherwise they wouldn't be able to afford. So that's exciting. We're giving everybody the opportunity to see that anything is possible. And we wouldn't be able to do it without Habitat for Humanity. So I thank you for that. I'm so excited about the new style. And also the color schemes, we don't have to stick to the browns, right? Because I know in this type of homes, I've seen the grays and the blues, which pop out even more, you know, like a medium dark gray with the white or a blue with the white. I would lean more towards those colors, but we can discuss the color scheme later. But I'm very excited about the new design, actually. It's exciting, and I'm excited to move forward. So thank you. Thank you for the presentation.
Well, thank you. You know, you reminded me of two things. One, not only is the mortgage going to be affordable, but maybe more importantly to a lot of the families, the down payment is affordable. The down payment on these houses is going to be in the range of $7,500. So when you combine a down payment as low as $7,500 and a mortgage in the range of $200,000, you're including a lot of working families in this community that are going to be able to truly entertain owning a house, where I think many families have given up on the concept of owning a home. It will be a reality here. And another thing that the mayor had mentioned about the affordability, one of the things these homes are going to have is an affordability agreement, which means that they are going to be required, deed restricted, that they will be affordable for the next 45 years. So this means that as your city grows, you will still have affordable housing stock. In many cities to the west of you can no longer make that claim. So this is a very important thing that the city council has put in front of us, and we take it very serious, and we will make sure to keep all of this housing stock affordable for as long as possible.
Right now, they pay $2,000 or even more for a 2-bedroom apartment where they have no room for anything.
In many cases,
Exciting.
yes, in many cases, it is possible that people will have a lower mortgage amount than they are currently paying for rent. You know, one of the cornerstones of Habitat is that you will pay no more than 30% of your income for housing expense. The typical range at this point in time is close to 40 to 50%. So with that in mind, it will lower the housing costs of a good number of the families.
Brian, thank you for the presentation. I do have a question. You mentioned the $7,500 down payment. Would it be traditional closing cost, or do you guys absorb some of those costs, or how would that work for this?
Traditionally, Habitat is absorbed a good amount of those closing costs as well. So their total out of pocket historically has been under $10,000.
Okay. And then do you still have that provision where they would pay the monthly payments? Let's just say, for example, obviously they can sell the property, but they would have to sell it back to you. So
Correct.
as an example, let's say the tenant or the resident lived there for 10 years. You're collecting their monthly mortgage payments and you're putting them in that escrow account. They decide to sell 10 years later. They're going to sell the property back to you at whatever market value, right? So you can resell it affordable. Would that money that was put into that escrow account for their monthly payments be given to them as a sort of the equity they would have built on the home versus selling the property and getting that equity out?
Yeah, we're currently reworking our equity share. You know, the whole goal is to make sure that we can make these houses as affordable as possible. And at the same time, make sure that we're not making the winners a lottery winner in which they are going to buy something at an extraordinarily low price and then reap this massive reward without giving back to the community. So it's our goal to create an equity share program that when they do sell in the future, that they will regain some wealth from the property, but at the same time, a portion's going to come back to us so we can reinvest it into the community.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you.
It's also really important to notice that, or know, that in the 30 years that we've been in existence, we've never foreclosed on a home. So it's all about the education as well as making things affordable. Yeah, we're working it out. You know, the one thing that the last handful of years, the appreciation of property has just been so crazy that, you know, we needed to take a step back and figure out how to make this more equitable for all parties involved.
You will update us
Oh, absolutely.
once you got that equity share ironed out. Okay.
Mayor, I just have a few comments. First of all, thank you for the presentation, and I agree with Councilmember Avila. I love the craftsman style home. I'm very familiar with both of these areas, and I really like the way you kind of revamped that whole Stewart corner, and I appreciate the openness of both of them. My question in terms of you're gonna obviously leave them open, but I guess maybe it's a staff question, Nick. In terms of Marlinda, this has always been my concern regarding that area because of the private street of that and the utility poles that are currently in the middle of the area. That'll be something that we will be handling. Is that correct? Or who's going to be handling that whole, craziness of those utility poles?
Yeah, that will definitely be worked out in as we go through the project. But if undergrounding of utilities is required, that would be an expense the applicant would take on.
I'm sorry?
That would, if undergrounding of the utility poles are required, then that would be something we would look for the applicant to finance.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. But thank you again, and I look forward to the process of it all. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. We are ready. We're always ready. We're ready to go tomorrow. Yeah, no, this is exciting stuff. I'm sure many of you have had an opportunity to drive by both of these sites, and the amount of excitement that's coming up to do this is just kind of off the charts. And while I've got you for another really quick minute, I'm going to mention, we're also doing ADU programs here in the city. And our first one, we're looking to start construction in May. I'm just going to leave it as an open time frame. But this one is going to be special. We are looking to build 1,000 square foot house in 10 days. 10 days. So we are working with planning. We're working with everybody to get things coordinated to make sure we can get this thing done. So as we get farther along in this process, we'll make sure that you're all invited to be there and to see this, because it just goes to show this can be done. You need to know your staff is fantastic. No, we're going to build this thing ground up. We're going to put a slab down, and within 10 days, okay, I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to have to lay the cement first because I don't want to waste time for it to cure, but it'll be about 10 days from the slab till it is fully done. And again, like I was saying, your staff is phenomenal. We can't do this without coordination with the city. We can't do this with staff who's fighting with us instead of working with us. So just know these guys are doing a phenomenal job in bringing affordable housing to this city. So this is something that's really exciting for us that we're looking to do end of April, May, somewhere in that. We'll get there. And the other thing you guys should know, we completed the SB9 lot split. And that was probably one of the first in the San Gabriel Valley to be completed. The front house has been sold, and the back house, and this goes to what we were talking about before, of making affordable housing available to your residents. So the owner of the back house, it's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath house. She's 25 years old. She's bought the house, will be buying this house by herself. She works for a nonprofit. And again, mortgage in the $200,000 range. The front has already been sold, and a single mom is living in there. So we have actually both ends of the bell curve. One person on the getting closer to retirement, and the other just starting their working life. Both homeowners, single family. And this is how we keep the fabric of the community, is to be able to keep people. We are working on a home dedication for sometime in the end of March, in which of course you will be more than welcome to participate. But these are the exciting things of having families like this. So she works in Baldwin Park, and she grew up in Baldwin Park. So these are the type of people I'm sure the city council wants to keep in Baldwin Park. And so this is how we're looking at bringing this community a little bit tighter. You bet. Nothing else? We'll go back to work.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. All righty, thank you. All right, so at this moment, we are done with our open session items and we will be recessing to closed session and we will see everybody else at 7 o'clock for the regular meeting.